What is up, guys? Half Slab Bacon back with another episode of our 1.9 survival tutorial. Yeah, it's time, guys. We gotta add a layer onto this mob farm. Now, it's a pretty big project if you guys watched the original build. So I do it in pieces, and just putting another layer on is enough work for one episode. I probably want, 3, 4, 5 layers eventually, but bits at a time's good with me because it's a lot of work. So why don't we get to it? I've kind of pre-crafted the majority of stuff, and I even tore the roof off this bad boy, which is what we're gonna have to be careful about when we get up here. Oh, let's shield. Annoying. And disabled the main floor, all off camera. Main reason I disabled the main floor off camera is you kind of have to do it before you remove your ceiling. Okay, no creepers. And basically how I did that, guys, is I waited till nighttime. Number one, I was up here for a while. And then I waited till nighttime because then you get the least amount of spawns in this area because they're spawning other places. Like, they will spawn in caves and everything, but for the most part everything's pretty well lit up, except there's some stuff over there within our 128 block radius that isn't perfectly lit yet. So I waited till night just to minimize the likelihood, and then basically what I did was I took the layer off from the edge over here until I found this section right here where the string comes, and I broke a couple blocks, and then I switched to a torch so I wasn't cutting through glass, broke the string, and then I kind of came down here and broke the string as far as I could see it, took the blocks out above, broke more string, and then I just cut this line all the way through. So now, even though the rest of our string is active, this floor is disabled till we add that string back in. And that's kind of key, right? Like, that's really how we want it, because just in case we do fall, we don't want to fall the 40 blocks below that to our death. Now, on that note, yes, this is a stackable design. However, I neglected when I did the drop to think I made it a 40 block drop to kill witches, and neglected to think about the fact that once I started layering it, we're going to have a 4 high gap instead of a 3 high. So Endermen will spawn in here, they will drop, which means it should have been a 44 block drop to kill the Enderman. Now, over time, if that becomes really problematic for me, then I'll take the railroad out underneath and make it 4 blocks. I mean, that's only dropping it down a few blocks, right? It's not the end of the world. You can pretty much ignore that there, guys. I was just putting a frame up there to try and figure out how I'm going to decorate the windows from the outside, because I'm not doing that today. That's just too much. Too much, guys, too much. So yeah, once I had that done, naturally I wanted to hollow out and find out where my pistons were and point something out before we get started, guys. Now, common thought here would be that you would be able to start the next layer right above the pistons because you're putting a torch there, torch on a block, no problem, not going to activate the pistons, right? But when our next set of pistons drop, see the problem we have? So, in order to do this right, and that's why we have our 4 block drop, we actually do need our extra gap there, okay, guys? So that's mainly what I wanted to point out. That's what's causing our 4 block drop. If you try and put those torches right above the pistons, you're going to run into issues. So we have to have that extra gap. It's unavoidable, guys. I'm sorry. That's the way it is. We're going to have to deal with it. Which means, I mean, the Enderman is really kind of a bonus as long as you thought about the rail underneath first. Like I failed to because I'm a retard. But, you know, whatever. We'll make do. So we're going to start off by just kind of getting this section ready to rock here. And if you've, well, you know what? If you're new to the channel, I suppose I should probably show you guys. And it's going to be laggy, guys. It's just what's going to happen because of the nature of my spawn. I'm down at 8 block render distance, but still. I'm actually thinking I might take those flames off the roof there and just put torches, because that'll reduce lag. But, you know, it's my fire and ice theme with all the lava and the fact that I'm a redstoner that causes the lag. So basically, guys, what we have here is a tripwire system. You can see a block just below where that piston would be. So the tripwire activates a sticky piston, drops that block. As you can see, that block meets up with a redstone torch, which then triggers our redstone here, which then triggers our repeaters, which then shifts our floor. Now, the trick to get this to go back and forth is delays. So 1 tick delay on that side, 3 tick delay on this side, okay? You got that? So no adjustments on those repeaters. 2 ticks or 3 or whatever on this one. Second one from the last one. So yeah, overall, pretty simple design. I will point out right now, guys, at the time of testing this, I pointed out that they were patching the what was it? Half slabs on a shifting floor, because previously to 1.9 everybody liked to use half slabs on their shifting floors. Guys, don't work no more, okay? I'm sorry, it's just how it is. Just don't work no more. It's a thing. You're gonna have to deal, okay? I'm sorry, they broke it. The half slabs at the time, so if you see any older videos around my original, they were still working initially, but Mojang did specifically state that they were going to patch it, guys. Okay? So it's no longer functional. That's it. End of story. That's how it is. Like it or lump it. At this stage, it's no longer working. So, basically what we need is this 3 block gap, because our pistons are going to go right there. I've cut that out, just kind of a walking area. You'll notice my blocks around here, there's way more than need be. That's because, yeah, that's sand. I took out the wrong one. That's because of that. So naturally there's ones behind that, you know, blocking off the lava and that kind of thing. And yeah, that's why it's way bigger than it appears like it needs to be. So we're going to need our pistons here on either side, repeaters and redstone. So I'm going to get that laid out, and then we'll kind of go from there, and I'll show you guys how all the things are going to work out, okay? Okay, people, so that part's done, and you will notice, I had forgot to mention while I was explaining it, that we're actually offsetting here. So as I had mentioned, not only do we have to go a block above, but you also have to kind of have it offset, because same reason, right? Even if you're a block above, that will power that. Redstone will drop a block apart when you're putting the torch on the edge like that. So in order to prevent one layer from setting off the other, we have to kind of alternate the position of our pistons up here. And that's why, if you took a look, can I even do a sneak so you can see? Notice how the building gets wider as we get up to the farm. There was kind of a reason for that, is I knew I was going to have to alternate these pistons. So as you can see down here where the pistons line up, we've got one row of repeaters there, then a torch. Now, if we lined up the same here and I had these 3 blocks placed, I placed that one off camera. Those pistons now line up, but we've got the extra row of redstone back here, just so we're offsetting our torches and pistons at the back end. Very, 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 very important. Now, you will also notice what I did here, guys, in terms of our blocks, is I filled in that bottom row because, well, quite frankly, we don't want more than 1 gap space down there. Things can't spawn on glass anymore in 1.9, so you don't, or actually, did I say anymore? Silly me. Things can't spawn on glass, so you don't really want that as a you don't really have that as a concern. What you want to eliminate is the likelihood of anything jumping up. Why am I doing it from up top? Well, same as when I was breaking the roof, guys, you do not want to be placing or breaking blocks standing down there where the tripwires are, because the likelihood of you messing up and breaking tripwire is extremely high. And then it's, you know, just kind of hard to see which ones you broke and which you didn't, kind of thing. So yeah, you don't want to do that. Oh, there's the lovely music. How are we for time? I might, okay, maybe I'll keep you with. Maybe, just maybe. So, obviously you can see I chose to do this during the day. There's a reason for that, right? As I fill the sandstone in, I don't want a crap load of things spawning up here. And I should also point out, if you would notice, that I'm not using a shovel if I break a block, just because, you know, I don't feel like tearing through a whole bunch of stuff. But you also will notice we got a gap there, right? Isn't that pretty? Hence why we're doing this during the day. Gap. Do it during the day. And we get to stay alive. Now, we started on that other end, right? The spacing here is very important. Pistons will only push 12 blocks, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Obviously, I left that gap there just in case we have any problems, so I can get down there and repair it. Now, we do not, as I said, want to be doing any of this at night, because once night comes, you can get spawns down there. So we want to have this done and closed off before that happens. Now, we're doing a small enough area that we shouldn't have to worry about the spawns, but, you know, when you're doing this kind of stuff, guys, I firmly believe, take every precaution. As in, like, see how it looks like it might be getting night? I believe that's just the cloud level we're at. Yes, it is. Can see the sun's above us. Can we even see it up here? Yeah, we can. Yeah. But, you know, in my nature, if I hadn't just reset daytime and known I had 10 minutes to get this done and had a clock directly in front of my face while I was recording, I would be watching that up there. So, as I was saying earlier, soul sand, it's the only thing that works for a shifting floor design. So you're going to want to go to the nether, and you're going to want to get this done, peeps. Plain and simple. No ifs, ands, or buts. Now, before we do this next stage, I'm really going to want to make sure I have enough blocks here to get it finalized. You're going to want to check the time on our night there. And then this next stage is kind of the tricky part, okay? So like I said, I left that block open over there because I do not want to break blocks from down there. If I break blocks from down there, it's going to mess with my tripwire. So now when I place this, I want to hear that sound and I want to check to make sure those are going, right? And then I want to come in and do this, right? Get the blocks placed, get the tripwire placed, try not to set any off on camera, not because, you know, we're not safe on top of this glass. We are, more because of the extreme amount of lag that we're going to get this close if I set it all off right now. So I'm going to grab my torch. We're going to set that one. Whoa, I did it. Sorry, guys. As you can see, it's pretty lagorific, huh? So we're down to the last two. So I'm going to place that last one. I'm just kind of looking over there. I heard the snap every time. So I'm happy about that, right? And I got the click. So now I'm going to jump up here. Place that last one up here. Just kind of double check. Do the little sneak maybe, whatever. Yeah, they all look good. So all those connections are intact. I can now fill the last of my blocks in. And I can do the same up here. And again, this is just to kind of make sure that we're good. Now on this side as well, we're going to start filling this in. Okay guys, so we're ready to start our glass, and wouldn't you know it, awesome me, I neglected to remember that I needed extra glass because we were going to offset this here. So I made enough for 3 layers on each side instead of 4. Now I should mention the delay. Maybe I didn't explain that well enough. So these are on 3, right? And those are on 1 because a repeater automatically has a 1-tick delay. And those are placed backwards, so I'm gonna have to place those all again. Are these placed backwards? Crap! I'm gonna fix that. I'll be back. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so they're all fixed now. You want them facing into the piston, not away from them. Yeah, I've been working a lot lately. Pardon me for my general noobness. And I probably should have extended this wall all the way out just to make my life a little easier. But the reason for the delay on one side versus the other, and that's why I made sure I mirrored it, guys, and I did not do a good enough explanation of that, is you want this section here where the space is to fire after, because that one's going to push into this piston. You need this row to push after whenever they're triggered, right? And since we're running the tripwire right across so it triggers both, we need a delay on both sides. So that's kind of what we got going on there. That is just the process. And then again, the glass is just for the tripwire to run over, so we don't have issues with spawning over any of our redstone where they can't get pushed. Right? Right? You got it, don't you? How do I'm gonna be way short. Way short. I'm gonna have to go back down off camera. I put another stack in, guys, and as far as the coloring goes, oh no, I should be fine. I'm just thinking my math's like way off. So yeah, we have a solid block there, right? Just in case you didn't catch it, all the way across here, and then same thing, because that's going to shift back and forth there, right? So we don't want the empty gap because that's going to land where all our stuff is. We don't want the mob spawning anywhere our piston's moving, especially in 1.9 now. It could cause issues previously, but in 1.9, the mobs act really crazy when they get hit by the edge of a piston. They actually bounce kind of back inside it for some strange reason. I don't know why. I am short. I don't know why they ever changed that, guys, to be honest with you. It frustrates the snot out of me personally that, you know, pistons always kind of worked one way and now they have them working a different way. It's a little infuriating, if you ask me. But, you know, that's how Minecraft did their stuff, or Mojang did their stuff. That's the way it is. That's what we're stuck with. Alright, people, so as you can see, I've got our line laid out. Now, the way we want to place our pistons, so we get them facing, is obviously from directly below. Now, I've got an 11 wide here, so I could have gone, like, wider, but just for aesthetics, I went 11. As long as that length is only 12 blocks long, you can basically make this length as long as you want. Now, naturally, the bigger you push it, the more lag you're gonna get, and so on and so forth. That's just a reality. So, when I was building this, my intention was, one, to make it look aesthetically pleasing, and that's why I originally picked 10, I believe, and then I ended up just derping up and accidentally putting 11, if I remember correctly. And then all my counts were off because of it. It was awesome. Literally, it was awesome. Yeah, awesome. I was up here trying to do the tutorial on it, and I was short like every single block. It was great. but yeah. So, make it as large as you want. Just keep in mind, you know, the larger you make it, the more pistons are going to go off at once, because when this chain goes off, it shifts all of them. So that's why you get an intense lag spike there, right? Now, I should point out, because of that, that when this chain goes off and you get all that lag, if you were to build this far away and just go AFK at it, that really wouldn't matter. However, in my case, I would rather have a smaller mob farm going off more often around my base and get a little bit of lag here or there that I'm not necessarily going to feel everywhere in my base, you know what I'm saying, than have to deal with it all the time, man. So, at this stage, I think you can tell that's basically going to be our roof when we close this off. And we'll see how the spawn rates are. Maybe we'll decorate the outside, and then we'll come back and we'll do the next layer, and yada yada yada. But we put those blocks in front of our piston now, right? So the next stage, we'll keep those blocks there, is basically just to set all our tripwires. And this is the finicky part, where personally I like being extra cautious, and I think I explained this in the last one when we did this. Is here's where I like to be extra picky. So I didn't grab the string because I'm a knob. We will close all this in after we get this done. I prefer not to close it in until, basically it's all done. Just because I'm like that. So what we're kind of going to do here is we're going to pick a side, and we're going to lay all our tripwire across. And remember when I said you don't want to be placing blocks while standing in the tripwire, just because it has a tendency to cause a little mess. You start breaking tripwire and it's just no good. So when you're doing this, just pay extra attention. You can hold down and just do that, right? And I do that off camera. But when I'm doing something this picky, I'll tend to fare on not doing that. Just because, see what happens? Look. Now, do we know if the string placed down there? See what happens when you spam click, peeps? It works great in creative mode. And it does work in survival, but with something this tricky, I would rather just click each time. Make sure I get all that done, okay? And we're good to go. Okay, guys, so for the next part, I've run the string kind of all the way across and done the roof as I went. Now, this part here gets tricky, right? Because you want to place it connecting to the glass, right? So, see how I'm doing that? And then I just kind of continue all along this way. Nice and simple. And you can tell when you're off the slow sand, right? Now, if I've placed all this properly, when we connect over here, those should hook up, right? So this is why I've left the sides open, so we can kind of ensure that happens. And I leave these blocks at the end here, just, you know, again, lighting purposes. It's easier to see. The more light I can let pass through when I'm working under there, the easier it is to see my string placement. If you do it in a very dark room, you're going to run into trouble. So now, connected, 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 connected. Do I sound repetitive yet? Okay, so let's do a test. She appears to be functioning properly. Now at this stage we want to be extra careful not to, you know, accidentally end up inside there, because that would be painful and stuff. So I'm just basically gonna fill this in. See what I mean? Painful and stuff. So I'm gonna run along and fill this in. And this is actually, doing the two, you're more inclined to hit that tripwire. Doing it like this is just, it's the safest way. So I'm gonna fill these blocks and get these placed off camera. And I'll be back, people. Okay, people, so I've basically closed her all off now. And as you can see, I've gone out of my way to make sure it is excessively lit. Excessively lit. Now, I've kind of left on this one side just, you know, a stair platform just so I can get down. And now maybe you're starting to see how this side's making sense with what I was talking about in regards to the thing, the lava pool. So basically what's going to end up happening is I like to keep my redstone totally blocked off. So all that is indeed getting closed in. So is this. But, like I said, that's all unnecessary blocks. Purely decorative on my part, peoples. Part of the reason I'm not going to do the decoration right away here, people, is I want to watch for efficiency before I make my final decision on that. You follow me? Why do I have two here? Do I have two on that side? Yes, I have two on that side. I'm going... Okay. I'm just going bonkers, guys. Never mind. Okay? Just shh. I've had enough out of you. Just shh. Be shush. Be shush now, okay? Be shush. Make sure this is extra well lit up. Like I said, extra well. Don't want mobs spawning up here and, you know, walking off and falling on my face, because that would suck. So why don't I finish this up? And as I said, the reason I'm not gonna, you know, do it all today necessarily. Oh, wait. There was something I wanted to show you guys. I forgot. So when you're finishing this part off, and not everybody knows this, I think, but if you actually walk inside the tripwires, hooks, not inside the tripwires, but inside the tripwire hooks themselves, you don't have to worry about them spazzing out on you and activating, because they don't activate. Yeah, it's a thing, people. Okay? It's a thing. Hack hell! Okay, people. So yeah, you can see it's pretty much blocked off, other than I just left one stepped area. And if you look at my toolbar, you can pretty much tell I took... Do we still have snow in here? Oh, one stack. I'll take that. We need to make more snow so I can release you, maybe. Eventually. Someday. Yeah. Even though it wasn't all frozen yet, I've been using a lot of ice in the other world and kind of took it all over. So I don't have much here, so I figured I'd better grab some in case we want it. So all I'm doing now is I'm gonna take that out. Oh, I guess I should show you guys. There's a video after the mob farm if you want to watch how this is all done, but I will just be nice and show you kind of how all this comes up to the surface real quick. So we have our drop from our guys comes down to, whoops, sorry dude, didn't mean to get in your way. Here, go. There you go. There, he bounces back, and yeah, they just drop down here, ooh, all the way down. The lighting's in here as well. Well, up top, the lava, down here, pumpkins. So it's well lit all the way through. See, you can kind of see it float, some mob drops. And then, yeah, our minecart hopper just zips along all the time and picks the stuff up. And can I have my blocks back, please? Brings that. Oh, and that's new to 1.92, the ability to do that with the gates. The trapdoors, snap them to themselves all the way across. That's why I used that there, just because new feature, cool. But yeah, brings it into a hopper. Hopper puts it all in a chest. There's stairs here, so the chest will open for me. All down here is just powered with switches. And then, yes, this is kind of, well, I'm not going to explain it all. Watch the video if you want to understand. But we've basically got a section here that only sends this cart when either that's done putting items in and it's ready to go, or the actual minecart with the chest is full. Then it sends it up top where it meets another hopper. Bada boom, bada bing, gets all dropped in the chest up there. Nice and simple. So yeah, guys, I hope you... Ooh, it's nighttime. Probably want to get my butt inside. You know what, guys? I'm just going to let you go here. So, you know, I hope you enjoyed, for you new people, seeing the process I went through on that mob farm. And for the people that have been watching long enough or just haven't watched the video before, now you see how to make a shifting floor design 1.9, which is about the most efficient mob farm that still works. So again, if you like the video, be sure to hit that like button and show your support for the channel and help others like yourselves that might appreciate the videos see them. And if you're new to the channel and you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and share with all your friends on Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff as you will. Thanks for watching. Bye.